One of my clients had a brain freeze the other day when I asked him a question. A brain freeze is when somebody asks you a question and you can't remember the answer, or you go speechless and you don't know what to say, and then you're like, hey guys, this is Alan with IELTS Once. Our goal is to help you sit for the IELTS once and to score a band of 7 or higher. So, the brain freeze. How can you avoid having a brain freeze at the IELTS? Because that would be total disaster, okay? Here's what I suggest. When you go to the IELTS, you should have the right mental attitude. Let me explain. Imagine you were speaking with your friends, okay? A familiar person in your break time or in the playground, or a colleague. You're speaking with them. Usually you don't stress, okay? When you go to the IELTS, you should try to have the same attitude. Try to imagine your examiner as a friend, as somebody who is familiar. Don't get too nervous. Wear casual clothes. Like me right now, I'm wearing a hoodie. If I had the IELTS tomorrow morning, I would just go with these clothes. Don't take the IELTS as something too serious, an occasion too formal or too official. It will make you stress out. So here's the situation I want to advise and suggest. So imagine you were talking to your friend, a good friend, a familiar person, and he asks you a question and you have no idea what the answer is. For example, your friend asks you, do you think that people will live on the moon in 30 years? I'm sure you're going to tell him something like, oh man, I have no idea, right? You're not going to freeze. Like, that's what some people do when they go to the IELTS. They hear a question, they don't know the answer, and they freeze. So try to have the same mental attitude. Imagine it's your friend. So you will say something like, I'm not sure, I really have no idea what the moon or Mars will look like in 20 years. So say it in a relaxed way, but that's not enough for the IELTS. Now you should try to give an answer with tentative language and use phrases like perhaps, maybe, I guess, it could be. So that's what you do. Express your surprise, maybe. Say it out. Say that you are not sure. And if this is really an unusual question, say it. Oh man, this is really an unusual question. Perhaps in 20 years' time, mankind will succeed in landing a man on Mars. I'm not really sure about that, but I think along the way there will be a bunch of failures, okay? Because I remember a few months ago or a few years ago, the company SpaceX joined with NASA, and I know that they've had some failures, but also they've had successes. So it's possible, but really, I think we have enough issues here on Earth, and landing a man on Mars or another planet should really not be the priority. For example, there are people who are hungry. We have problems with freedom of speech, really global warming. So really mankind has a bunch of problems here on Earth. I'm not saying that the conquest of space is useless. I'm just saying problems on Earth have a priority. You see, I started by saying I have no idea, man, I really have no clue. Just like you would say to your friend. That's the mental state you want to have. But then after you say that, try to give a tentative answer. Guess something, Try to explain why. Try to say when. Maybe it depends on something. So that's, in summary, what I wanted to say. When you go to the IELTS, try to imagine you're speaking to a friend of yours, a familiar person. Don't get too nervous. Wear your casual clothes. What you wear really doesn't matter. So have that mental attitude of relaxing, and it will help you do better, okay? Because some people go to the IELTS, they are prepared intellectually, but mentally or psychologically, they are too nervous and then they don't do well. So try to relax, remember the mental aspect, and take it easy. Good luck.